Hello everybody, welcome to ANM News, and this is Abhijit Nandi Mazumdar coming to you once again with another very interesting interview. You look at soya sauce, you want to put a little bit of ketchup, you got brand names, but what if I take you around to something very indigenous, something very make in Kolkata, something built next door? A very young, vibrant Chinese girl is at the helm of affairs of a company which was formed by her father long years back. So let's find out more about that. This brand is making news, but more than the brand, what we are all interested in is how do they take this thing forward. Welcome, Janice.
Thank you.
Nice talking to you. Nice to see you here.
Nice
and
to see you.
Thanks for giving us time in ANM News.
Thank you so much. For
Now
doing
tell
this.
me the first thing. This is a major market, a huge market of sauce, soya sauce, and all these ingredients that you produce.
Right.
How difficult it is, and what made you do it in Kolkata?
See, this company has been around for a long time, Pao Chong. It's one of the oldest sauce company, Indian Chinese sauce company. So it started with my grandfather. When he came, when he started this, he noticed that there was a lot of chilies being eaten in Bengal, like the green chili kacha lonka. So then he thought that from that he will make this green chili sauce so that it can be added to rolls, chow mein and all. So that's how he observed and started this first sauce. And then later on he started the soya sauce, which is used in chili chicken. So that's the story of Pao Chong.
So the Indian Chinese community, when you go back to those days, I mean, a lot of people migrated to India and set up business. More, we identify Indian Chinese more with leather.
Right.
So this is one area which is not very favorite with the Chinese community. So what prompted you? And I mean, looking at yours is not a restaurant. Yours is something you make here as an ingredient for the restaurants.
Right.
So what made you come into this field and continue in this field? Your grandfather made it because we know about Chinese herbs and Chinese these ingredients.
Right.
But then again, you did not start off a restaurant. Your father did not start off with a restaurant. Why?
Not rest, because I consider, and my father also considered this as a big kitchen for the restaurants. So to supply these authentic sauces, people used to import it from China. So we found that that if we make it locally here, it's more fresh and it is suitable to the Indian taste also, because we use the Indian herbs, the local herbs. So then when they mixed it together, that's why this sauce is very unique. It's called Indian and Chinese techniques.
So do you use any Chinese herbs here?
Chinese herbs, yes, and also the Chinese, there's a traditional way of making this chili sauce. There's
the recipe.
certain trade secret, which is, we would call it the process of making the chili sauce is similar in China, but the ingredients that are used is Indian. Very much local.
So the kind of sauce, the kind of products that you made, whatever product that you have, does it have any similarity with the same product that we get in China?
No, it's very different.
Okay.
So the sauces, for example, the green chili sauce, that is very much an Indian invention.
Okay.
And especially Calcutta. So, and the soya sauce also, we use the Indian gur. So the taste is different.
Taste is completely different.
So that's why in places like New York, Toronto, when they open restaurants and they want to brand it as Indian Chinese restaurant, even in London, they specifically write their Indian Chinese style Chinese restaurant. And because the cooks, they use like the Indian Chinese herbs and spices for the chili chicken and like the Manchurian. So it's very different. So in China it's different.
It's different. So in Indian, I mean, when you say I want to have Chinese food, or maybe I want to have Chinese noodles or whatever. So its taste and everything is very different from the one that you have in China. Because when I went to China, So I had a
Yes.
very different taste of all the food.
The food.
And here the taste is completely different.
Very different
So
because of the ingredients.
because of the ingredients.
Yes.
So now, why do you taste it? Does it cater to the taste of the particular place that you do it?
Yes. So my grandfather was born in Calcutta. So he grew up with haldi and in haldi, the main spice is the haldi that we use. So in China, they don't even know about what is haldi, right? So that is the key thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your grandfather was from here. So who migrated from China?
My grandmother, the co-founder.
Okay.
So Paochong became one when my grandmother came by a ship, a Chinese ship. She came here a long time ago. So when they met here, they founded Paochong.
Okay. So your grandfather was an Indian.
Indian Chinese.
Indian Chinese. So when
Yes.
did he come to?
He was born here.
He was born
His
here.
father had come from China.
His father?
Yeah, in the 1800s.
The great grandfather.
Ha.
They had come from. So it's a very long family. So you used to
Yes.
stay here. I mean, they built this. They used to stay here.
He used to stay here at this present location in Tereti Bazaar, which is the oldest Chinatown in India. Before, used to have a lot of Chinese here, more than 30,000, and lots of temples have been built also. And there was a famous Nanking restaurant where Raj Kapoor and all the celebrities used to come here. So the Chinese food used to be only exclusively in Tereti Bazaar before. And you must have heard of the Chinese breakfast market, no? So it started from here. So then people started to know more about the momos and sumais and the Chinese breakfast items, fish ball soup, and Paochong used to supply all this chili sauce to them.
Okay.
So that's how we started at a small neighborhood store, and that's his journey. Yeah.
And you started building this up.
Yes,
So, but
yes.
tell me one thing: when you have Tereti Bazaar was the biggest hub for Chinese food in Kolkata.
Right.
So, what happened to that restaurant where Nankin you said?
It's still there. The building exists. It's been converted into a huge temple. It's called the Tungon Church Temple. So the structure still remains. It's a heritage building now.
Okay,
So
but there's
people
no
can
restaurant now.
There's no restaurant now. Yeah.
So why is it happening? Like when what Tereti Bazaar was the hub of Chinese food and Chinese breakfast and Chinese everything.
Right.
Suddenly there has been a sudden decrease in the number of joints, sudden decrease in the number of people, dwelling number of people. Why?
I would say because of migration and also better people are thinking for the children studies abroad, and also there was like some of them, they lost their tanneries when they shifted, so they have moved to other places like Canada,
But you
UK.
got your friends here. You have grown up here. You have seen people of your community in and around. Also, you have met the people of local people too.
Right.
So, why do you think because you stayed back and you're doing very good for yourself. So, why do you think people have migrating to Canada? Indian Chinese are going off, migrating to other places, setting up business in other areas, in other countries. And why do you think your population is dwindling here?
See, like with any community, if they see a better opportunity, they perceive it like for their families, they want to try another place. So I think it's the same for the Chinese community also. So they send their kids for abroad. For example, my cousins, they've all gone abroad for studies. So then they find jobs there and they settle down there. But one of the key things that I'm hearing from the older generation is that they find that maybe, for the example, the shoe industry, Bentic Street was all with the handmade leather shoes. So that industry was finished because it is handmade and it became too expensive. They were not able to keep up with the ready-made shoes. So industry damage was there. Restaurants are doing very well though. Like it's become like 20 years ago, maybe there was 6 restaurants. Right, in Tangra was the hub of. Now, if you say pan India, in the corners and corners, B towns also, you will see a Chinese stall.
In every lane by lane of Kolkata, you have a Chinese
chow mein. Like, you can
chow
get a
mein.
whole plate for 30 rupees
Yes.
and fill your belly.
Absolutely.
Where on earth you will get so cheap?
Absolutely.
Like a huge plate. 30 rupees. So that is an insane thing to see, and it's amazing. Like people have accepted the culture and the foodscape. yes, unfortunately, the people looking like me is no more there in population, but the culture and the food has remained, and it has multiplied a lot. Yeah, and major chains also have opened up, like like the mainland China and Wow Momo and all.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
But yours, what we find is a very different success story, in the sense that you stayed back, you manufacture something here in Kolkata, catering to the Chinese community food, Chinese food basically,
Right.
and then you're doing good for yourself. So don't you feel there is a avenue, there is a road, there is a way for people of your community to stick around and go forward?
Of course, like for example, ours is a food business. So like thankfully, because of the so many acceptance of the Chinese food, people like it. We are doing okay. But in certain industries, I think you have to keep on innovating. If you don't keep up with the trends, then you will be forced to shut down. So that is the unfortunate thing, even say with technology or any industry.
Absolutely.
So food is something that people eat every day, and but you have to keep your quality consistent.
Absolutely.
So we are very strict with the quality control. So that's what has kept us afloat. Yeah.
Absolutely. So have you ever been to China?
I've been, but I was kind of lost there. I would say I didn't have a good time. I did have a good time. The Great Wall is beautiful. The scenic beauty is breathtaking. But the food I had a problem with. Yeah.
A Chinese lady having food and problem in China?
Yes.
Why is that?
I don't know. I found it, I shouldn't say it, any negative, but personally I found it bland.
So people because you have developed a taste for Indian Chinese food, so you found it bland. So
no, not just Indian. I was missing my Bengali food, the luchi, aloo dum, and the dal bhat.
Okay.
Because there, everything is boiled and soup type, and it's different. How to explain?
So now tell me one thing: the food that you had in China. Another thing, before I ask this question, I just want to ask you: did you trace back your roots in China?
See, the place that I went was northern China, like Beijing area, Jinan and all. The place that my ancestors are from is from a Hakka village in Meishin, Guangdong province, which is the south. My parents have been there. I hope to go there also just to see where my grandmother was from. It's a small village, and if you've seen the movie Fa Mulan, it's a Mulan movie, Disney movie was there about a Chinese girl warrior. She's in the first part of the movie, there's a round house she stays in. So those are the famous Hakka round house.
Okay.
So my ancestors used to be from those type of houses there. It's very famous in China. So that's where we are from.
Okay. So the word Hakka, has that got any connection with Hakka noodles?
Yes. Hakka is basically a dialect in Chinese, and it's a community. So there's Mandarin is a dialect. There's Cantonese people, Hakka people, then there's Hupei people. So Hakka is just like this Punjabi, Bengali.
Okay.
No, so in China also it's like that.
So why is it known as Hakka noodles and not dry noodles?
No, Hakka noodles is a type of how they
prepare
the noodles in the huge, steaming, hot wok and tossing the noodles in a certain way. And Cantonese is a little bit different. There's Cantonese gravy, chow mein.
Okay.
Yeah, so the way they make it, that's why they named it after that community.
After that community. Now tell me one thing, if the kind of food that you have in China, the exact authentic Chinese food, if you replicate that in Kolkata, is it possible? And do you think people will like it?
Some joints have tried that, but I think people still go for the Indian Chinese, like the chili chicken, Hakka chow mein. I think that's the most favorite.
Okay.
If they give someone, say, steamed chicken, or famous in China is pork belly. I don't know if people will accept it, but I think it will take a more niche market.
Okay,
Yeah.
to get it.
To like it, acquired taste.
Absolutely, but the ingredients, the herbs, all those things that you make here, these won't go with that recipe.
No, different.
Different recipe.
Yes. Certain things, yes. For example, the oyster sauce, we have tried to make it as authentic as possible, and it's been accepted. Like a few chains do take from us, and also like plum sauce, which is used in China a lot. That also we have made, so that is also accepted here. So, but certain things like the one like the green chili, it is very much Indian Chinese. Green chili and the dark soya ours one is ekdam like for Indian market.
Indian market.
Yeah.
Now the exclusive recipe that you have for your herbs, for your all these products that you make, this has been passed on through generations, right?
Yes. Yes.
So did you get any undertake any special classes or any special courses to kind of learn this and take it forward?
No. I just watch my father. He has a whole room that is his laboratory. So he is a all-rounder. He goes and he likes to tinker with things.
Okay.
So that's how I taken.
So it's a mix and match theory.
Yes, and he makes sure everybody tastes it, and as many people as possible. When he gets the nod, then we launch that item. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many items have you launched so far?
Now we have a total of 40 sauces, like products, and mixed with the Hakka noodles variety. So you can come anytime. We can give you a tasting session also, all different.
So you have a tasting session.
Yeah, like.
So now tell me, over the last few years, you have expanded a lot and you have reached out to the market. So what have you done in the last 5 years? How far have you reached, and what is your goal?
Yeah, so Pao Chong, we have launched a new brand, Pao Chong Kim. Kim means gold in Chinese, Hakka Chinese. So with that brand, we hope to have like more authentic stuff. For example, Hunan sauce. Then we have the sweet soya sauce for the sweet noodles, and like a whole range of actual instant noodles also. So that is in the pipeline. And
so you want to come up with instant noodles like the one that is there in the market now?
Yes, but it will be totally Indian Chinese.
Okay.
Yeah, the taste.
Indian Chinese instant noodles.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and also we have a frozen line also, like momos, very authentic Indian Chinese taste.
But isn't momos is momos a very Chinese dish? Is it?
Yes, it's consumed a lot. Momos, I know the word momos, we use it in Calcutta, but in China they call it dim sum.
Dim sum, yeah.
Yeah. So momos is used by Tibetan people also. So, but we call it momos, like here in Tereti Bazaar. Sumai, we are launching the frozen section. Baos, which are our own recipe, my grandmother's recipe. So it's doing pretty well. Like it's been accepted and loved by these exclusive dim sum items. Yeah.
So you have that prawn papad, which I suppose was very popular, isn't it?
Yes, that is also there. That is very popular. Yeah, prawn papad is like a Chinese type. Yeah, actual prawns are used, and you fry it, and it's puffed up, and we enjoy it with noodles and soups and all. So
what's your goal now? I mean, looking 5 years hence from today, what do you want to set up?
What
do you
I want to set up?
Yeah. You want to continue this, or you want to expand? You want to move forward?
Yeah, obviously, like like I want to take Pao Chong to every household, but I also want them to like enjoy the culture behind this community also. For example, our lion dance shows every Chinese New Year. Even though we are small, I want people to know that we celebrate life in India in a big way. Like even though our culture is like our community is small, but I want everyone to come and like take part in this.
Take part in that.
Yeah. So the Chinese New Year is celebrated in a grand way in India, in a small way, but even in China they have stopped visiting house to house, these dragons and all. So, but they still do it here. So that is the remarkable thing. How is so miracle? I don't know. It's so small, but still people come, and all over the world they come back to Calcutta to celebrate this Chinese New Year.
Absolutely.
So I want people to take part.
Take part in it. Now tell me one thing. You have been here in Tereti Bazaar from time immemorial. You have seen this. What is your opinion? Has the scene deteriorated over the last few years, or is it still as vibrant as it was before?
Acha, so if you talk about vibrant in terms of like all Chinese people everywhere,
yes.
then obviously there's very less, so hardly a dozen who shows up for the morning market. But I would say,
Where is the morning market?
morning market is just like the, how to explain, there's that where the bazaar is
on the main
yeah, just beside.
And what's the specialty of the Chinese morning market?
Chinese morning market, every day they open from only from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Okay.
And if you come late, they all finish.
Okay.
So the people set up stalls here.
Okay.
The people used to be a lot of Chinese people. They set up small mini dekchis and the steamers, you know, used to sell the momos and the
Okay.
breakfast items like fish ball soup, atsumais and lapchong, which is the Chinese sausage.
And they still do it?
They still do it.
Okay.
But instead now a lot of Indian looking people, they sit instead
sit
of the yellow Chinese people, like.
Okay.
So that's why.
But Indian Chinese are still there?
Indian Chinese means few. Maybe
Very few.
out
But
of
they have
12, maybe 2.
Two, okay. So, but the Chinese breakfast market, which was very famous, so you have seen that part. The Chinese part
Yes.
population has come
Very
down.
much less.
The Indians have taken
Taken
over.
over,
The
so
people
they
of
have learned-
local people have
Yes,
taken
of
over.
origin.
Your people have come down a
Yes,
lot on that.
yes.
But do
So-
they maintain the same kind of quality that you used to see in your childhood days?
I mean, I still buy from them, so I'm a foodie, so I eat. So that some
the
people
restaurant,
they come for nostalgia reason.
Yeah.
So I mean, yes, of course, there are many other fine dining places now in the city, but some people still come there. They come for a cup of tea. They sit and talk with, even though they are not non-Chinese, but they still have roots. No, they grew up together. Like
Yeah,
I have many friends who are non-Chinese, and like
What about the restaurants that were there in Teriti Bazaar?
the
During your
rest-
childhood days?
There were lots, like in a sense, all those homemade restaurants. There were a lot, like they serve the Singara Chow, famous. We call it Singara Chow, but actually they are called wonton noodles.
Okay.
So they're steamed, white color, is shaped like a Singara. So that's why the locals call it Singara
Right.
Chow. So lots of joints used to have there, and like fish ball soup, which is like a fish flavored balls, and it's a soup broth, like deep aromatic broth. So those have all gone. But now there are just a few joints left. Yeah.
Left, okay.
Yeah.
So, the temples are there at the moment here. So, what is the local Chinese community here? People like you and your friends and your community people, what are you guys concentrating on now?
See, they've done a good job with the temples. They've renovated it very beautifully. If you have a chance, you must go. Like on the weekends, especially, they're free to enter, and they're Taoist temple actually. So, like a lot of Chinese people were Buddhists, but some became Christian, and even my grandmother actually she worshipped Kali Ma also.
Okay.
Yeah, every Kali Puja we used to have a Kali Ma idol. I used to pray to them. And in Tangara there's a Chinese Kali Mandir
Kali Mandir,
also.
yes.
Yeah. So that is the thing, the amazing thing, how the cultures they adopted.
Blend
yeah,
together.
the amalgamation.
Together. So here you, your small Chinese community is focused on, are you trying to kind of relieve your heritage, you pursue your culture and try to safeguard yourselves?
Safeguard, that is, I don't think I would use the word safeguard. I said preserve it in a sense.
Preserve it, yes.
Yeah, like we just want to take part in it, and it's just fun. Like
How many temples are here?
Here, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 at the top
Four.
of my head. Yeah.
4 which have been renovated.
Yes, there's one Namsun, which used to be a school, Chinese school, is still there. Last time they had a huge event there with the intact people.
Okay.
So, and all the major schools participated. So, Namsun is one where my grandfather studied. And second is this Siap temple, and then this Tungon church. That is there, and there's one just across the street. It's a Burmese Chinese Buddhist temple type.
So you're very active in kind of renovating and working out and ensuring that the community in Teriti Bazaar stick together and blend
Not
with
me
the culture.
personally, there are lots of associations.
associations.
Each one has their own associations with the temple. So they have their
Each
funds.
temple has a different
They
association.
have their own like managing committee and all. So when they come, they want help. So my father always advises also and helps also. So me, I'm not personally involved, but I do host events also, certain things like a stall, say like that.
Moving away a little bit from there, as we enter into your beautiful office come very historic building,
Yeah.
I saw a small little thing called the Enter the Dragon. So, so how do
yes.
you relate with Enter the Dragon?
See, we are a big fan of Bruce Lee, my father actually. So, like he is into kung fu, he is into martial arts a lot. Like he does yoga also, he does that headstand with his head at the bottom and leg like that. He is a martial arts enthusiast. So that's where the name came into Enter the Dragon. Because Enter the Dragon was Bruce Lee's most famous.
I know that. I know. So you are into martial arts?
I used to, but now I've become lazy.
So I for one thought that you mentioned Enter the Dragon so that you keep the, just like Bruce Lee did in Enter the Dragon, you keep the guns away.
No. That is, this one, we make sure it's a smiling dragon. So we want people to come.
Did you ever had any problem with the locals here or anybody here? Any issues?
Problems? Well, no, I don't think so.
Very harmonious relationship with everybody
like,
here.
Yeah, like every puja we get together and all. Diwali we celebrate every festival, like, and yeah, like. Initially, yes, my mother, like, because she was actually from Shillong, my mom. She's Chinese also, but they had some problem in 1962. So that was the Indo-China thing, no, the war and all.
Yeah.
So, but now too, we are very happy here, and we are blessed also. So we do our day-to-day things. Yeah.
So you do not want to go to Canada or Toronto or any other place?
Right now, no plans of yet.
No,
yeah.
Because you have to expand look after your business.
Look after this, no. Otherwise, it will also, like, you know, if you don't go hands on, like Sanjutta said, she has a business also. So you have to be hands on. So in order to ensure it's run well, no. And also, like, if I don't like certain things, why will I give my customers, right?
Correct.
So I will have to first be the experimenter for my dad. So that's what, yes.
Lastly, Janice, what exactly do you see yourself 2 years from now?
2 years from now, we hope to do well with that instant noodle. So we want to get the right taste. So we are in that research stage right now. So that is there. And also I hope that this cultural thing is adopted other parts of India also. Say like that Dragon Boat Festival, I think you know about it, no?
Dragon
that
boat, yes.
consulate sponsored and all for in Calcutta.
Yes.
The Dragon Boat with
Festival,
the boats and dragon.
Yeah.
So that was so beautiful to watch, right?
Absolutely.
So if that is more mainstream, that will be nice also, and more people can enjoy.
So you want to be a part of that activity?
I want more of the events,
preserving the culture and getting.
And also I hope that chili chicken becomes a national dish.
Chili chicken becomes a national dish?
National dish meaning Indian Chinese national dish. Yeah, we have not a Chinese dish, not a with an Indian Chinese mixture,
Indian
like a khichdi.
Indian
like khichdi is.
Khichdi it is.
Yeah.
Khichdi it is. Absolutely khichdi it is.
Yeah, khichdi and ambhat. That is amazing. And chili chicken also. That is like heaven for me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Janice.
Thank
it was great. So instant noodles it is, and the chili chicken. She wants it to be a national dish and preserve the culture. So you just saw it for yourself. You just heard a very vibrant Janice speaking straight from the heart, and you want to see. You'll very surely find a big competition in the instant noodle market. That's what she has promised us. Thank you for watching ANM News. Thank you very much, Janice, for being with us. And keep watching ANM News for such interesting informations and interviews in future.
Thank you.
Please don't forget to subscribe our channel and also click the bell icon to get the latest updates.